Hello everyone. We are a group of Canadian-Iranian citizens. We have traveled here today all the way from Toronto. This is our 112th gathering. We get together every week to protest the condition of our teacher in Iran. We are here today with the support of our American Iranian citizens because we have a message for the government of Iran and for President Rouhani. Our teacher, Mr. Mohammad Ali Tahiri, has been in solitary confinement in Iran for 6.5 years only for expressing his beliefs. He has been tortured mentally and physically. He has undergone 16 hunger strikes to protest his conditions. He has been sentenced to death once in 2015. He was taken to be hanged 12 times, had the noose around his neck, then taken back to his cell. He also attempted suicide once. Many in the international community have spoken up in defense of our beloved Mr. Tahiri. We want to especially thank Amnesty International, who has been the voice of Mr. Tahiri and has issued countless petitions and urgent action notices on his behalf. We also want to thank the U.S. State Department for issuing statements condemning the death sentence. On 2 separate occasions, members of Canadian Parliament as well as Australia's Parliament have condemned this barbaric sentence as well. Thanks to the international outcry, Mr. Tahiri's death sentence in 2015 was overturned by Iran's Supreme Court, citing insufficient evidence. However, he was still kept in solitary confinement while the judiciary looked for further evidence. He was once again sentenced to death on August 27th of 2017. The new evidence was nothing but a fabricated documentary-style film with actors playing the part of Mr. Tahiri. This joke of a film was widely played on state-sponsored television. It was also played in court, and to our surprise, accepted as evidence. The charge of Mr. Tahiri is corruption on earth. Mr. Tahiri was arrested in 2011. This made-up charge became law in 2013. In other words, all of Mr. Tahiri's actions took place prior to this made-up law going into effect. The Iranian authorities claim that Mr. Tahiri's beliefs have corrupted the minds of the public. Therefore, this is why Iran thinks he deserves to be hanged to death. So together, let's review Mr. Tahiri's teachings. Mr. Tahiri speaks of the following. He says, human beings are all created from God's essence. Therefore, all humans deserve our respect. Despite their actions, their religion, their race, their behavior, they deserve dignity and respect. He says that if we claim to love God, then we will love all of God's creation without discrimination, including all living beings, all objects, and all humans. He says we are all connected to each other, and just like the leaves of a tree that are connected through stems and branches, if we break off the leaves, the whole tree falls and hurts. Similarly, if we human beings, do the same to one another, we have in effect harmed our own selves. He also calls for unity of all humanity and asks us to set aside our differences. He says that humankind's rescue is a collective rescue. We will find peace and serenity when we all come together, when we hold each other's hands and lift each other up. So what part of this message is so offensive that he should be sentenced to die? What part of this message is misleading? What part of this message is opposed to the teachings of Islam? Iran's judiciary has brought shame and disgrace upon the reputation of Iran. with such an abhorrent sentence. Iranian authorities repeatedly stated that Iran does not jail people for expressing their opinion. This statement is clearly untrue, as Mr. Tari has been jailed for his peaceful opinions and beliefs. However, it is true that Iran's own constitution bans the government from inquiring about people's beliefs. So this death sentence is in direct violation of Iran's own constitution. Our message to Iran is this: listen to Amnesty International, listen to the United Nations High Commissioner, listen to statements made by other prominent leaders around the world, listen to your own constitution, and above all, listen to God. Release Mr. Tari now. No man should die for expressing his beliefs, especially when he spreads the message of love and unity. We will keep fighting until this unjust death sentence has been quashed and Mr. Tari has been released immediately and unconditionally. Thank you all for listening. We ask of you to please take 15 seconds to sign amnesty petitions. These are the flyers which are distributed. And we ask you can even go online. It's http://bit.ly/M Taheri with a capital T A-H-E-R-I, which is also posted by one of our prominent supporters. You can ask, but please take 15 seconds of your time to sign this petition online. It can save one man's life with only 15 minutes of your time. We love and thank you all from the bottom of our hearts, for we are one. But from the international community, we have a message. Iran, stop Taheri's execution. Respect your own constitution. Enforce UN's human rights resolution. And remember this, love is the only resolution. Thank you very much.